I could easily turn this into a karaoke night with all of the great choices out there for ballads. What's your favorite ballad? How am I supposed to live without you? Because of you? The greatest love of all? Whatever it is. Is it a power ballad? Let me know in the comments. This is directed by John Carney and it stars Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas playing a former boy band member. It's a big stretch for him. Give him a break, guys. It's really, he's running against type here. So Carney's been pretty consistent when it comes to being able to weave music in and out of his films. Of course, he's notable for Once, but also Sing Street, Begin Again, Flora and Son, Power Ballad is now his latest. I genuinely like his content. I would say Flora and Son was maybe my least favorite of his major releases. So I was excited to see if he could bounce back from that because also his most recent. Yeah, I mean, it's a little heavy-handed, but Power Ballad has all those feel-good vibes that will make this a worthy watch for the majority of people who are able to make it through a film without going, "Oh, I get it, Jesus." I had a few moments like that where I was like, and the thing is that he dabbles in it too, but he doesn't go hard for it either. He doesn't go hard in the paint for some of his choices, and I'll talk about it. This film does have audio description. I think Lionsgate is distributing it, which is kind of odd for me, but okay, I guess. Wouldn't have picked Lionsgate for this, but happens. Um, and so who are these characters? So Paul Rudd plays Rick Power. That's how we get the name Power Ballad. It's kind of cheesy, I know, because you're like, his name's Power? Yeah. And he used to be part of a band that was doing things, and they were on tour, and he fell in love with an Irish girl, and they had a kid, and he stayed too long, and when he tried to get back to the industry, the label that his band was with got dropped. So he was left without a chance to run. Now he is the lead singer of a wedding band. Meanwhile, on the other side of this is Nick Jonas, and he plays basically himself. uh, he plays a former member of a boy band who is looking to really strike a chord as a solo act, but is having a hard time coming up with material that is hit material. He's having a hard time writing songs that would chart. As his manager tells him, he's been writing a lot of great like album songs, but not a song for the radio, not a song they can push. So by a chance meeting when Rudd's band is performing at this wedding that Jonas actually just happens to be a guest at, and then he clambers up on stage and they're, starstruck to be singing with him. And he seems like a pretty cool guy, and he and Rudd hang out in his massive room that he was given, compared to Rudd's tiny room with this tiny little bathroom. And they they jam and play some songs, and one of the songs that is played is something that Paul Rudd's character, Rick Power, that name, wrote. And while they don't go that much into it at the time, Jonas's, what's his name, Danny, he recognizes that it's a great song, says something about it, and they have a generally good session. They're getting high and everything, and everybody leaves fine. As a matter of fact, Danny gives Rudd a guitar. It isn't until later on when Danny is realizing everything he writes is shit and no one likes it, and they're pushing him for a hit song, and he's rocking a hard place. He has a girlfriend who, by the way, kudos to audio description on this. We didn't have to go through the shenanigans of like trying to label her because and wait for her name to be said. They just named her straight up. They're like his girlfriend, Maud or whatever it was. I don't remember. She's actually not that relevant to the plot, but she is for the time in which she's in it because she's around and he's playing the song in his little like music studio at home and from what he can remember of it, so it sounds like he's creating a song, and she comes in and she's like, oh my god, who, who is this for? And he's like, yeah. So she becomes sort of relevant because she's like, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. And the song is how to write a song without you. So which again, we're going to get into heavy messaging here. I won't go through the whole plot, but I'm just getting you up to the point where this song ends up becoming a hit for Danny. And then suddenly Rick is hearing his song on the radio and he's been given no credit for it. No songwriting credit. And he's looking through all of his old demos and stuff for all of his songs that he's written over the years, and he's trying to find it. And he's like, I know I played this song for people before. Does nobody recognize it? So it's sort of like this Mandela effect where he's like, did I write this song? Like he's slowly losing his mind, his touch with reality. And it all comes to like a clash between the two at the end, even though Danny's manager is trying to keep, you know, Rick away and threatening lawsuits and stuff and saying it's frivolous and he has no proof and all that stuff. So but I thought it was really interesting, and the place that I assumed Carney was gonna go because the song is "How Do I Write a Song Without You?" And he didn't. So it's very like tongue in cheek, on the nose in terms of a song title. Like it's meant to be a romantic love ballad, but for the situation in which they're in, he didn't write the song without Rick. So I was waiting for that moment where he's forced to realize when people go, okay, what's next? What's your next thing? Where's your next hit? And he can't come up with it. That, through that, then he has to go back to Rick, who does write hit songs. And then the two of them would end up. I thought that was going to be where the film goes. It isn't. Carney picks a very interesting way to end the movie, and I'm kind of here for it because I think what I'm saying is the easy way. What I'm saying is the way that you look at it and you go, I've seen so many movies. This is where we're headed. I've seen too many movies. And once I heard the title and I saw the relationship between them, I was like, okay, so Rick's on his journey, but he's Danny still needs to come back on his journey, so he's gonna end up realizing that he can't write a song without Paul Rudd, like the song says, how to write a song without you. So he's gonna have to come back, tail between his legs, and I'm sorry, I'll make sure you get credit on everything. Can you please write again, please? I have nothing in me. I'm not a good songwriter. No, the film has a different ending to it. And for some people, that may piss them off because it can it can feel like it's a kind of abrupt. But at the same time, it really rings true to what Rick is saying at a certain point, which is the fact that he got what he wanted. He got what he needed out of the experience, out of his journey in the movie. That it's not Danny's movie. It's not Danny's journey. It's not Danny's experience. He's a side character in Rick's life. He's the star of the film, and thus the film ends when he feels satisfied. Does that make any sense? Because so it doesn't it doesn't bring Danny's story full circle because it doesn't need to. Carney believes that by bringing Rick's story full circle and by healing Rick's path and putting him on his own little personal journey, that by tying that off, that he can just sort of send Danny floating off into the, the great beyond, where most of us are just going to think, well, okay, so the rest of his career just is whatever because he can't write songs. That was what the whole thing was about. Um, and Carney, it's the song is too tongue in cheek for like everything. It's too obvious, like how to write a song without you. I was laughing the whole time. I was like, come on now. It's a great song. I like the song. It's the only shot this film has at an Oscar nomination is in Best Original Song for this. This is, eh, kudos if this is Paul Rudd actually singing, supposedly. I mean, it's obviously Nick Jonas, but honestly, like Paul, if this is Paul Rudd's voice, I liked it more than Nick Jonas because every time Nick sings, he feels like he has to do that like pop singery thing, so it sounds like really like heavily affected already. Like he doesn't have a singing voice where he's just like, like I want to sing through this. I'm working on a song, and I'm working this out. Everything is like immediately. He's like, I'm like, do you not have like a mid voice? Do you not have like a working it out voice? Because Paul Rudd's able to do that. Paul Rudd's able to be like, I'm strumming, doing some chords here. How do I, what I mean? Like he has sort of that like voice that I feel like everybody has while they're just working something out. But Nick is like, no, I cannot be seen with that voice. Yeah, I have to be. I'm Nick Jonas. Um, but there's a scene where eh, Rick runs into a busker that's playing Falling Slowly, which I was like, you know what, dude, fine, John Carney, you made that song what it is, fine. If you want to use that in here, I thought it was really kind of hilarious to show the evolution of how that song has become a song that buskers now play to get money. But and it started in a John Carney movie, so who knows where this song will be years from now. Probably not as big as Falling Slowly, because that was sort of a big thing in and of itself. The performances here are nice. I like Paul Rudd. Nick Jonas is fine in his role. It's not really a stretch for him. He doesn't really have any big scenes or big moments. He's basically playing himself. This film is all about Paul Rudd and his friends and his family members around him, and it's a nice experience. I like this movie. It's probably, my score is going to be lower on it, but I'm going to continue to like it that much because I look at it and I go, okay, so there are a couple of things here that are little hokey, but I also kind of am here for it. I'm kind of here for a lot of this movie. I'd watch it again. Like it has all those things, but there's something that keeps Power Ballad from being truly excellent. And like Once, which I think just swept people over. It's been a minute since I've seen Begin Again, but I know I've seen that more than once, and I really enjoy that movie. I love Sing Street. So I don't think it's Carney's strongest work, but I put it above Floor and Son for sure. And I'd have to rewatch Sing Street and Begin Again to fully evaluate. It's sort of in the middle, in and around there somewhere. Rudd makes this film work a lot. It's really a great vessel for him. For Paul Rudd fans, you guys will like it even more. Audio description I thought was fine. There's really nothing here that didn't work for me in terms of, I mean, when the audio description hits, it makes sure to get all the little visual things that you might miss out on, like the differences between the two bedrooms. We see Rick's, and so we try to get a good description of Rick's room first, so that later on when we're in Danny's room, and it's much bigger, you feel it, like you feel the differences. There's some scenes that involve screens, right? The use of screens, and so you have to make sure that you're describing what's on the screens. So, it's a pretty good movie. It's also weirdly, I was like, why is this R? I'm like, profanity again? Are we just is that a thing? Are we just I Danny unless all of the chicks around Danny are naked and it just didn't point that out all the time, I really I can't fathom why this film is rated R. Like I have no idea. It's profanity, I guess. If I was in the MPAA, I would have just been PG-13. I would have watched this movie and been like, "There's nothing here." But then again, unless like a whole bunch of naked people walking around through this movie that just didn't track in the audio description, because there isn't a sex scene. There's sort of a sex scene, but it's so brief that that can't be it. Like he kind of has passionate. Danny has like a passionate moment with his girlfriend, but it's not. It's like 2-3 seconds, and it felt more like heavy petting. This is how it flashes through. It's also the kind of thing where it's like, if you were like, well, that would be the only reason you're rated R. It's like, do you need that shot the way that it is for the 2 seconds? It's not a very sexual movie. So, yeah, I don't know why it's rated R. I would take kids to see this. Maybe not like little ones because it would probably just bore them. But if you have teenagers that are really interested in music and songwriting, that kind of stuff, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Just take them to this. There's nothing in here. And so Power Ballad. Considering we're in like the first half of the year, this is among the best of the first half of the year. But by the end of the year, I don't know if this will be in my top 25 just because I assume the year will, will have will have more films with greatness in them, with Oscar greatness in their eyes, coming out of the film festivals and headed for Best Picture races. And Power Ballad, like I said, I think it stops at Best Original Song. So, however, with the Oscars' new rules of songs needing to be featured within the film and no longer can they just play over the credits, yeah, this one is all over the movie. They play it like multiple times. If ever a song was better platformed for a Best Original Song nomination, it's this one. So, Power Ballad. I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10. I really like the movie. I think it's maybe a little heavy on the messaging, and I'm fine with the ending. I'm not going to say I love the ending, and I think the ending could be polarizing to people who want more from it. So, otherwise, I don't have much to complain about this movie. It's just not, it's not a super excellent Oscar worthy Best Picture contender, but it's a damn fine, entertaining film, and I would absolutely watch it again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.